Are you a nurse dreaming of living and working in the United States? What if I told you there's a real pathway that can lead you to a US green card without entering a lottery system and without competing in a points-based immigration system like Canada or Australia? In this video, I'm going to break down the EB-3 visa pathway for nurses in 2026 in a complete step-by-step guide that actually makes sense. We are going to go through everything: eligibility requirement, NCLEX-RN, employer sponsorship, immigration steps, timelines, real cost, and the most common mistakes that delay or completely ruin applications. If you are serious about moving to the USA as a nurse, don't skip any part of this video because the order of steps matters more than most people realize. And if you are watching this and already preparing for your NCLEX-RN, I already have a full video breaking down how I prepared for it. I'll leave the link in the description, so make sure you watch that as well. Comment USA below and tell me which country you are applying from, so I can understand where most of you are in your journey. Now, let's get into it. Why are nurses choosing the USA in 2026? Let's be very honest. Nurses are not just moving to the United States for fun. There are very real structural reasons why the USA continues to attract thousands of international nurses every single year. First, the US is still experiencing a long-term nursing shortage. This is not something that started recently, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon. The combination of an aging population, increasing chronic illnesses like diabetes and heart diseases, high retirement rates among nurses, and burnout after years of healthcare pressure has created a system where demand is consistently higher than supply. Hospitals are struggling to maintain safe nurse-to-patient ratios. Long-term care facilities are under pressure. Even home care services are expanding rapidly because there simply aren't enough nurses available domestically. This is where international nurses come in. If you are qualified, trained, and meet the licensing requirement, the US healthcare system actively wants you. Not passively, I mean actively. Now, let's talk about why nurses choose the USA specifically. The first reason is earning potential. The nurses in US generally earn significantly more than in many other countries, especially when you factor in overtime, night shifts, weekend differentials, and sign-on bonuses. Some states pay substantially higher depending on demand. The second reason is career growth. The US healthcare system is highly structured. You are not stuck in one position forever. You can move from the bedside nursing into specialized units like ICU, ER, oncology, or surgery. From there, you can transition into leadership roles, education, or advanced practice pathway. The third reason is exposure. Working in the US gives you experience with advanced technology, complex patient cases, and highly specialized care environment. This builds your professional profile in a way that is recognized globally. But the biggest reason and the focus of this video is immigration. Unlike many countries that rely on point-based system or random selection, the EB-3 pathway is employer-driven. That means your ability to move is not based on luck or scoring high points. It is based on whether an employer is willing to sponsor you or not. That difference changes everything. So someone may ask, what is the EB-3 visa? The EB-3 visa is an employment-based immigration visa in the United States. For nurses, it falls under the professional worker category because registered nursing is a licensed profession requiring formal education and clinical training. What makes the EB-3 so important is this: it is one of the few pathways that can lead directly to permanent residency, also known as the green card in the US. That means you are not just going to the US temporarily to work. You are going with the potential to live there permanently, build a career, bring your family, and eventually apply for the citizenship if you choose. The most important thing to understand is that the EB-3 visa is not a lottery system. You are not randomly selected. You are not computing in a points based ranking system. Instead, your pathway depends on one key factor: an employer in the United States who is willing to sponsor you. If that employer believes you are qualified and needed, they can initiate the immigration process on your behalf. This is the foundation of everything. So I'm going to explain the step-by-step how the EB-3 visa works. So the step 1 is your credential evaluation and verification. Before anything else, your nursing education must be evaluated. This is done through credential evaluation organizations such as CGFNS or other approved bodies depending on your state. They review your transcript, clinical hours, licensing history, and overall education to determine whether your training is equivalent to US nursing standards. Without this step, nothing else moves forward. Think of this as your foundation check. After CGFNS, the next thing is to pass your NCLEX-RN exam. The NCLEX-RN is the licensing exam for registered nurses in the United States. It is one of the most important steps in your entire journey. This exam is not about memorization. It is about critical thinking, clinical judgment, patient safety, and decision making. You will be tested on areas like medical surgical nursing, pediatric nursing, maternal health, mental health, pharmacology, safety and infection control, priority and delegation. Many nurses fail the NCLEX not because they are not smart, but because they study incorrectly. They focus on reading content instead of learning how to answer questions the NCLEX way. You need strategy, not just knowledge. And if you are currently preparing for it, again, I already have a full NCLEX preparation video linked in the description that breaks down exactly how to approach it. Step 3 is the English language requirement, that is, if it's required. Depending on your country of education and the state you are applying to, you may need to prove English proficiency. This is usually through tests like IELTS or OET. Not every applicant is required to take it, but many are. The goal is simple: to ensure safe communication with patients and healthcare teams. Always check the requirements of your specific state board because they are not all the same. Step 4 is to secure an employer sponsor. This is where everything becomes real. You cannot complete the EB-3 without an employer. You need a hospital, healthcare facility, or long-term care organization that is willing to sponsor your visa. These employers usually work with international recruitment agencies or have dedicated sponsorship programs. Your job is to apply specifically to positions that mention visa sponsorship, international recruitment, EB-3 sponsorship, foreign nurse hiring. If a job does not mention sponsorship, assume it does not offer it unless confirmed. This step is where most people either succeed or get stuck for months because they are applying blindly. Step 5 is immigration filing and labor certification. Once you receive a job offer, your employer begins the immigration process. They may need to complete labor certification, which proves there are not enough qualified US nurses available for that specific role. After that, they file immigration petition with the USCIS on your behalf. At this stage, the process becomes legal and administrative, and most of it is handled by your employer and immigration lawyers. Your responsibility as a nurse is simply to provide accurate documents and respond when needed. Consular processing and final approval, that is the step 6. If you are outside the United States, you go through consular processing. This includes submitting documents, completing a medical examination, and attending an interview at the US Embassy or consulate in your country. If approved, you are issued an immigrant visa. This is the final step. Once you enter the United States with that visa, you become a permanent resident. You can start working as a registered nurse under your license status and begin your new life. Where to find sponsorship jobs? Now, let's talk about where people actually find these jobs, because this is where many nurses waste time. So, you need to start with hospital websites, large healthcare system, Teaching hospitals and state health networks often post international recruitment opportunities directly. Next, recruitment agencies that specialize in healthcare immigration. But be very careful. Not all agencies are legitimate. You should also check LinkedIn, Indeed, healthcare staffing platforms, official hospital career pages. Use search items like International Nurse Sponsorship, EB-3 Nurse Visa USA, Registered Nurse USA Sponsorship, Foreign Nurse Recruitment USA. Now listen carefully. If any agency asks you for large upfront payment without clear documentation, contract or verified hospital partnership, be extremely cautious. Legitimate sponsorship is structured and transparent. Course timelines and mistakes. Let's talk reality. The EB-3 process is not free and it is not instant. Costs may include credential evaluation, NCLEX exam fees, English test fees if required, medical exams, document processing, travel costs. In many cases, employers cover immigration filing costs, but not all other expenses. Now, the timeline. The full process typically takes between 12 months to 36 months, depending on backlog, documentation speed, and the employer processing times. Common mistakes that delay or ruin applications include applying without checking state requirements, poor NCLEX preparation leading to repeated failures, submitting incomplete documents, trusting fake recruitment agencies, ignoring contract details with employers, not planning financially for delays. Most delays are not immigration problems. They are preparation problems. The United States of America remains one of the most attractive destinations for nurses in 2026, but not because it is easy. It is attractive because it is structured, predictable, and achievable for those who follow the correct process. The EB-3 pathway is not a shortcut, it is a system. And like any system, it works if you follow it step by step. Your focus should be to get your credentials right, pass NCLEX strategically, target real sponsoring employers, avoid shortcuts and scams. Stay consistent through the timeline. This is not just about moving to another country. It is about building a long-term professional and financial future. Now, I want to hear from you. Which country are you aiming for in 2026? Is it the United States of America, Canada, or Australia? Comment below and let me know if this video helped you. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I post detailed nursing, immigration, and NCLEX guides that can literally save you months of mistakes. And don't forget, I already have a full NCLEX-RN preparation video. Check the link in the description and watch it. If you are currently studying too, I'll see you in the next video. And also, I will make a full video on how to apply through the CGFNS because I know most of you get stuck on that process. See you and goodbye.